So LA Knight was a guest on the most recent episode of WWE's The Bump, and he was happy to big up himself while taking shots at Zelina Vega and other members of the WWE locker room. The rising star believes that he is the total package, but Zelina Vega begs to differ. Responding to a fan who asked her about Knight's comments on Twitter, Vega described him as a plagiarist of two of the most famous WWE legends of all time, Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Rock. Furthermore, she believes that he should concentrate on forging his own path to the top as opposed to worrying about other performers. That being said, while the LWO member suggested that Knight needs more originality, she did highlight his potential, saying, quote, "I think he needs to worry less about the gamers and the nerds of the world and worry more about trying to be himself. Not The Rock and Stone Cold Light. He's probably pretty neat underneath all of that." All right. Okay. I mean, taking shots here. Let's dive into this. Let's jump into the fire. Because this is a little spicy. This got a little spicy. I think this, once again stepped beyond the boundaries of promo, and this got a little bit personal. Zelina Vega is throwing pretty heavy shade at LA Knight, comparing him to a low-calorie version of The Rock and Stone Cold. She's saying that LA Knight is trying, too hard to mimic these beloved legends. But here's my take. This is what I think. Zelina, Queen Zelina, Zelina Vega, LWO Zelina. Glass houses shouldn't throw stones, man. LA Knight is a man who constantly is electrifying the crowd. He is constantly getting cheered by the crowd, just like The Rock, just like Stone Cold. But I don't think you can look at those as negative. Yeah. Does LA Knight seemingly have a touch of the Attitude Era? A little bit of that Attitude Era swagger? Yeah, he does. But why are we judging him on that? If that's what gets the people going, if that's what's missing from today's WWE, why is that a problem? Isn't that what wrestling is all about? Getting over with the crowd? Here's the problem, Zelina. You're pointing fingers, but my problem is that you've crafted your character around anime culture. And that doesn't seem too far from the same thing you're accusing LA Knight of doing. Now, we have to talk about LA Knight calling himself the last of a dying breed, right? Is it a little bit harsh? Yeah. Is it a little bit in character and maybe a little abrasive? Yes. But he's not wrong. He's standing out. He's standing out in WWE right now. He's making waves, whether it be in the locker room, whether it be with the WWE Universe. And he's in the men's Money in the Bank match, and he's probably the favorite to win it. Zelina, on the other hand, is in the Money in the Bank match. I don't know what her odds are to win it, but she's not generating that same level of buzz that LA Knight is. She's got her eyes on Money in the Bank, sure, but until she reaches the level of success and the crowd reactions that LA Knight's getting, you might just want to think twice before stepping outside the lines of what is considered, fair in promo. LA Knight, I think he was just playing his character, calling out the nerds. I mean, he's had involvement in WWE 2K23. I imagine that I think that was just LA Knight being LA Knight. Whereas it felt like Zelina Vega taking personal shots at somebody. LA Knight tends to kind of represent the good old boys who miss the Attitude Era. We kind of take a little bit of comfort in the fact that he has that attitude. And Zelina, she seems to be more focused on LA Knight than focusing on kind of rounding out and figuring out who her character is. Maybe if Zelina Vega channeled all of this energy that she spends worrying about the things LA Knight says, she could put together a character that reaches heights and the levels that LA Knight is doing right now. Here's the reality. This is reality. In the end, imitation, it's the sincerest form of flattery. Is LA Knight a little bit of The Rock? Yeah, sure, he is, right? Is he a little bit of Stone Cold? Yeah. Has he figured out a way to combine two of possibly the greatest wrestlers of all time? Yes, he has. But he's also very much LA Knight, which is a completely different character. There are elements in there that don't exist for Stone Cold and don't exist for The Rock. And if he's found a way to mold all of these combinations together to create something new, that's what wrestling is, man. Wrestling is just gimmicks recycled. And I don't understand why those two gimmicks are supposed to be untouchable. But as for Zelina Vega, she has to remember that her character is influenced by an entirely different culture. So cut the hypocrisy, focus on what really matters, the thrill of the match, the roar of the crowd, the entertainment of the fans, and stop with personal shots towards LA Knight. This is the problem with shows like The Bump, where certain people try to protect kayfabe and then others get their feelings hurt and they try to destroy a character. Let LA Knight do LA Knight. He's over with the fans. And that's really all that matters here, right? So hit me up in the comments if you think LA Knight is biting the style of Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Rock, or let me know, do you think that he's just paying homage to two greats in the Attitude Era?